Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new TV show spoiler review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dittenberg. Today, I am breaking down season 4, episode 5. Give us a moment of the Amazon Prime Video show Invincible. This will be a full spoiler breakdown. So if you guys are new, welcome. I'm Max Dittenberg from Max Talks Movies. This will be a full spoiler review. So if you've not seen episode 5 or any of Invincible, this is a full spoiler review. So go watch episode 5. It's one of the best episodes of the series. Then come back here and I'll get my general spoiler thoughts here on the episode. So let's get into my spoiler thoughts on Invincible season 4, episode 5. And a lot of people did not like last week's episode. I thought it was a passable filler episode. It wasn't like it was a great episode or anything. I enjoyed last week's episode. I don't think it's like bad TV, but when you get episodes like this, I can understand people being really underwhelmed by episode 4. But we ended episode 4 with that big cliffhanger of finally Nolan and Alan on Earth meeting up with Mark. And I thought this was really a masterpiece of an episode because the episode's around 50 minutes long. The first 28 minutes or so is literally just talking scenes on Earth, no action scenes, just setting up the fact of Mark and Oliver leaving for the mission. Yes, we get all-time action and blood and gore in the final 10 to 15 minutes of the episode. But I think what makes this show really special and different from really any other superhero TV show is that these people do feel like legitimate human beings going through real things that people go on. I think the biggest issue with comic book movies is the relatability and the fact that a lot of these properties don't treat their characters like actual human beings going through things. And I think what this show has done such a beautiful job of is setting up that everyone's a human being, they're all experiencing things differently. And it's a very complex human show. Yes, there's Viltrumites, there's aliens, there's different creatures. We go to different planets, but it does feel like there are real stakes because they feel like real, genuine people. So we get the beginning of the episode where Mark is finally discussing things with Nolan. And honestly, my favorite part of the episode from the talking stuff was Nolan thought when he came to Earth, he was going to talk to Mark, he was going to apologize to Debbie, apologize to Art, and everyone would be warm and welcome to him and want him back in their lives. And Nolan really didn't get any grace from anyone on Earth. He really did unrepaired or not reprimandable damage to Earth. He killed all those people in Chicago. He called his wife a pet. He did horrible. He killed the Guardians of the Globe, ruined so many families. He can't just walk back years later and act like he's going to get a hero's welcome. And I think in many other superhero shows, they would do the easy thing where he comes back, people are empathetic, he gets his life back, things happen. He really got no positive momentum from coming back to Earth. Yes, Mark was perfectly okay going on the trip with him. Mark was only going on the trip because obviously he knows it's their only shot to destroy the Viltrumites and to save Earth. That's why Mark is going with Nolan. He didn't say, I love you, Dad, and all of this stuff. He just said, there really is no. I have to trust you. I really have to trust you. No one says I have to trust you. You have to trust me, excuse me. And Mark says, the only reason why I'm going is this is the only way to stop. This is not a kumbaya moment for him and his dad. Not just like he thought his dad died in that Thraxia battle. And there are a lot of misses that Nolan made in the episode. Does not see Oliver before Oliver joins the mission. Nolan's excuse was he didn't want Oliver another thing to bear on him. But again, Nolan has made so many mistakes, and he continues to make those mistakes. He's trying to learn, obviously, and you can respect that. But while you care for Omni-Man and want him to do better, you still feel, and honestly, I agree with Mark, Oliver, and Debbie throughout this entire episode. The big confrontation that I have been waiting for is the Omni-Man Debbie confrontation that we got in this episode. I know a lot of people wanted Omni-Man earlier back on Earth in seasons 2 and even 3. This episode really rewards you for really how long Omni-Man has not been on Earth. It's been since the season finale of season 1, which came out April 30th of 2021, 5 years ago. So in our time, it's 5 years since we've seen Omni-Man on Earth, as it pertains to the show, and it really rewards you for all of that time has passed. Um, and at first, Mark's telling him it's a bad idea because Mark is right. Who is the apology for? Is the apology really going to be for Debbie, or is it really for your own, mental state? He doesn't really answer that. Mark, Eve, Alan leave, and we get the confrontation. Debbie lets him in. He says his piece. And honestly, at first, I was like, wow, that was actually a pretty solid apology from Omni Man. And then Debbie really came at him with the truth, which is like, you really still think you can do anything you want, that anything can be repaired. That's not true. You disrupted so many families' lives. A lot of them have nightmares, and when they wake up, they see you. And she says, I can relate because I am one of those people. And now she's like, now you're taking now you're taking my son to a war where he could die. Um, and am I still a pet to you? And Debbie absolutely was right. She did begin to move on. Her and Paul are a good relationship. Um, it took her a while to get over the fact of what happened at the end of season one. And she's still not fully over it, but I thought it was great when she latched out on him. And I love later when Mark came in and saw that she's bleeding. And she was like, I kind of lost it for a second, but I'm actually really happy I did. And it was well earned and deserved. Um, I felt extremely powerful of that scene from Debbie's perspective. She was 100% correct. I am definitely on her side. Um, she had to take care of another one of his kids that he's avoiding. Um, and she's done a lot. Again, this is someone who is a human being, no superpowers. And I think in a show like this, again, Debbie might not be in other superhero properties that important of a character, just being the parent of a superhuman person or, a superhero. But she's one of the keys that and the glues to the show. She's been there for Mark through all of his things. Now she had to take care of another son who she's really turned into her own son with Oliver. Really powerful stuff. I did get choked up watching Debbie lash out, and she had every right to. And I thought it was extremely powerful, satisfying seeing that. Then we have also the next scene, we have Nolan then going to Art. And at first, they're drinking beers, they're having a good time. And Nolan's like, when I come back, I'm sure you can fix, me another suit. And that's when Art says, actually, that's not going to happen. And, Nolan's taken aback by this. And Art hits him in the chest, like right in the heart, and says, I only make costumes or these outfits for heroes. And that was a really cold line. And Art also had every right to say it. And I love that Nolan leaves and Art, like, full on panic attack after, like, huge deep breaths. You probably couldn't believe he even said that to Nolan with the guy. Again, another human being. And again, with some of his fingers, Nolan can just kill him. And the strength to say that to him, really amazing stuff. Just three fantastic consecutive scenes in a row. We get, obviously, Oliver. And that honestly made me the most emotional in the episode was when Oliver said he took, one of my moms got taken from me. I'm not letting anyone take this mom from me either. And I thought that was such a powerful scene for Debbie. So Oliver's going to go on the mission, but they have their last night together. Eve, Oliver, Mark, Paul, and Debbie have this dinner. It's very nice. Oliver hugs Paul before they leave. I thought that was really nice. Mark shaking his hand. Really funny scene between Paul and Debbie as well there. Obviously, Eve did not tell Mark that she is pregnant. So that's why she really said, please do not die, to Mark. So again, it's gonna be interesting if, this is a whole season thing where Mark doesn't know. We shall see. But they go on their mission. They also recruit a new character into the show, Zoe, who's played by Zoe Dutch. I will say, this part of the episode wasn't totally for me. Not that the character was bad. I liked the character of Zoe, but she kind of felt like a rushed, thrown in person on the team. And the whole episode, I was like, why is she recruited to be on the team? I know we're going to get that answered in these upcoming episodes, but in this episode, I kept thinking, why did they recruit her? Is there like a specific reason? Whatever. I still like her. I think there'll be good things for her to do down the line. So they go on this mission, everything, and it's very awkward between everyone on the ship, including Oliver, including Nolan, including Mark. But we get to the point now where all of these Viltrumites, a couple of them, crash down on the ship. And the one that's most importantly is, of course, Conquest, who again, Mark thinks he killed, but again, Cecil did not kill him. That was also one of my favorite scenes in the episode, by the way. When Cecil and they're all in the CIA and they're all like reacting to the Viltrumites leaving, and he's like, guys, this is the first time in 20 years we have no Viltrumites. And Donald asked the right question. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? And Cecil says, I do not know. I did love when all the people, all the workers, they were like hugging each other when they left. Like they were so scared. I thought that was good stuff. But all these Viltrumites come here and Conquest, and Mark is pissed that Conquest is alive. This leads to a unbelievable fight scene between Conquest and Invincible. One of the best shots of the show was when Oliver, looking to get some to breathe after getting beat up, and he goes to this planet, and from behind, sorry, excuse me, from behind comes Conquest, and that shot was incredible. Felt like I was watching art when Conquest is about to grab Oliver. Mark beats him up. He's grabbing him by the throat. And then the most gnarly thing happens when Conquest punches Mark through his chest and is grabbing all the intestines and all of that stuff out of Mark's chest. It was so gross and so gory. And it looks like he either made Conquest pass out or kill him, but they're laid out. Mark has so much of his insides out, right? It is gross. And I'm really fascinated what the direction is going to go for Mark here. Is he technically dead? Do they have to put something in him now to keep him alive? But it was a brutal, intense, absolutely gory fight. And again, it's animated. And there were times I was like, I can't believe they're showing this. And I kept doing that when I was watching the episode. So this was, and again, the post-credit scene, we see that Alan and Zoe sneaked on the Viltrumite ship. Hopefully, they do not go back to Viltrum and have to deal with Throg at all. But it's going to be interesting now how Alan and Zoe get themselves out of the situation. Alan's girlfriend now is going back to the main resistance planet with Thaddeus to make a new plan, and just assuming that these guys are so powerful, they'll be okay. Boy, Oliver got his butt kicked. Obviously, no one cares for his kids, but boy, Mark took it more than a beating, I would say, in this episode. Obviously, it would be nice if they could kill Conquest. Finally, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is so good voicing that character. But it was intense, it was gory, and honestly, a masterpiece of an episode. This is top tier television. This is top tier Invincible. And I am so pumped for these final 3 episodes. It feels epic. It feels really important. It feels like the stakes are extremely high for the show. So I absolutely loved this episode. So what are your guys' thoughts on this episode, episode 5 of season 4 of Invincible? Let me know down in the comments. Like this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like videos like these, I do movie, TV show reviews, add a feeder reaction. So please subscribe, ring the bell, like, comment. I'll see you guys in another spoiler video of Invincible very soon.